me about Beast UTV, what it is. People go follow it. It's Instagram. I'll kind of let you take it away.
Yeah, so it's just a group that I started, I want to say 5-6 years ago. And yeah, it's just razors, Can-Ams, all that stuff. Like we go to Sand Hollow, go crawling. It just was something I wanted to do because the first time ever going into the rocks, like I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And just you get to meet a bunch of awesome people out there. Like you were saying, like I reached out to you guys. Like it's a good feeling when someone hits you up and is just like, dude, let's do this.
Yeah, I want to be a part of something. Yeah.
Like we were out at Tokerville Falls a couple weekends ago, and I was just walking around the waterfall, the top of it. Some dude stopped me. He's like, "Hey, aren't you Beast?" I was like, "Dude, the most awesome feeling ever."
Right. Get some recognition off of something you dreamt up.
It's crazy. But yeah, just a group that we started here in town and didn't ever imagine it would even get this big. But I mean, we got sponsors now.
Yeah.
My buddy Brian owns MST and he helps me out a ton. We got Wasatch Trailers, all them.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's cool, like being able to promote businesses and stuff like that. And then they help you out.
So, I mean, was that just kind of letting people be a part of something? Was that something, I mean, like, where does that come from? Because it's obviously work for you. I mean, I'm sure there's some enjoyment in it too, like you said, but.
Yeah. I'm constantly on my phone. It's insane. Like at work, I'm just posting and talking to people and all that. But I grew up, my stepdad was in a rock crawling group.
Okay.
So in Jeeps and stuff, but I can't afford a Jeep. So I bought a poor man's Jeep. Not that they're
that's what I was gonna say.
They're cheap, but
$40,000 poor man's Jeep. but it's not 100.
Yeah, not LS swapped and all that like Dixie 4-wheel drives Jeeps. But no, it's fun. It's mostly a hobby.
Okay.
But,
I mean, do you financially benefit off of that at all, or is that just all
that's all
just being a group?
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Yeah. I hope one day it gets to that point. Like that's probably the ultimate goal. So we'll see.
Do you guys have like swag, stickers? I mean, is it pretty much just promotion off of?
It's just promotion. Okay. Like we've done a run of shirts and hats and stuff, but it didn't.
It's hard, dude. Apparel's a whole nother business.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, so me and my buddies, we would like ditch school to go four-wheeling, right? Mm-hmm. We all had sport quads and Raptors, and I had a YFC 450. YFC 450.
Yeah,
does that
sounds
sound
right.
Yeah. And we would ditch like the last two. My mom's probably hearing this for the first time, but we would ditch like the last two periods and we go ride quads all the time. So we noticed like when the closer you got to the riding areas, the more everybody waved at each other, right? Mm-hmm. And you had like someone had dirt bikes or four-wheelers razors hadn't really hit the scene yet back then.
Rhinos back then?
Yeah, but it wasn't like a sport bike, right? Yeah. Like you weren't keeping up with us if you were in a Rhino.
No.
And but we noticed like it was this group of people that they all waved each other. We talked to each other. If you had quads and you're on a trailer and someone else pulled up to the gas station, they'd come talk to you. So it was like this unspoken friendship and no one knew they really had, right?
Yeah.
And so we started this little thing called Rider Nation. And we did shirts and hats and stickers and
heck yeah.
And like it never ended up being anything, but we were selling those at a couple like just dirt bike shops and whatnot, selling the shirts and hats. So I kind of have like a glimpse of what you're doing, but I never got traction, right? And so when you're telling me more about it, I'm sitting there thinking like, this is what I was trying to do, but you actually gained traction.
Yeah, it's insane. Like just being able to meet like Brian, the owner of MST, like he's helped out a ton with, like he'll come out with us, he'll film too, and then just send me.
What's MST? What do they do?
So they do trucks, Jeeps, and side-by-sides. Just accessories and stuff like that, parts, all that.
And it's a shop here or they?
Yeah, it's off the Washington Dam Road.
Okay. Yes, I used to. That's me. I lived in Washington, but I'm on the other side of town now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
I don't get
there's-
out there very much.
Log up top, and then
Okay.
on the other side of the road is
Where
MST.
MST is at. Cool. So shout out MST.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's we'll switch gears into kind of tell me what was leading up to 2001. I think we're going to spend most of our time on this because I've got some thoughts too. But kind of just give me a little backstory on where this story's going, and then let's talk about it.
Yeah. So I'd moved to Ogden with a girlfriend I met down here, and everything was fine. Great. Moved to 2 different apartments down there. And then, yeah, just one day we obviously had our problems like every couple, but yeah, just one day, I want to go home. I'm leaving. So that left me up there by myself. And then one night I kind of got into my head. I was going to, I wasn't going to therapy yet, I don't think. But I had antidepressants and Xanax. And yeah, just one day got in my head one night got in my head. And I think I called my mom just to hear her voice. And then I think I called my kids. And then that was it. I downed both bottles. And then I woke up that morning pissed. It didn't work. And I woke up, I had 93 missed calls, all
Dang.
from my mom. She said, when I had finally answered, and as soon as I got off the phone, my kid's mom actually busted through my front door and found me. Yeah, I just 93 missed calls. She said, I had a feeling something bad was happening. I looked at my ring. I had the sheriffs at my house. Didn't ever hear that. And then, yeah, woke up, called my mom back. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then my ex busted through my door and found me. Ambulance ended up taking me. And yeah, that night, my mom, my brother, and my sister-in-law came up to be with me. And yeah, I ended up coming down here for 7 weeks, leaving work. And yeah, I just stayed at my brother's house for 7 weeks, just in a room.
So was that like the relationship ending? Was that
I think it had a lot to do with it, just because I didn't have anybody in Ogden. I had my kids. So, but those days that I didn't work or that I worked, I didn't have anybody. I had one friend that lived in Ogden from work, and
just alone?
Yeah, just all alone. And yeah, it's just, I didn't do anything like prior to that. Like I would go to work, come home, sit on the couch, not even turn on the TV. I would just stare at the wall, basically, not play on my phone, nothing. So you just get into your head and just start thinking, the hell is wrong with me? Like I'm alone. Like I don't feel like I'm a bad guy. Like all these people are just exiting my life. And yeah, just you start thinking the most horrible stuff, and it's just like, I'm done. Like I don't want to be here. So yeah, I just tried to end it, and it didn't work.
So were you on antidepressants before this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Had you ever attempted or thought of, or
there's
prior?
always thoughts,
Sure.
but never acted until that one.
Yeah. And then it would have been the girl that you're splitting up with that came back into the house and found you.
No.
Okay.
No, it was my kid's mom that found me. This one that left was just
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was a little confused about. I was like, wait, so
No.
So she comes in, finds you, ambulance ride to the hospital. What's going through your head? What are you thinking? Are you coherent enough to understand what happened?
I'm in and out. The only thing I was pissed off that it didn't work.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there. And then the next thing I was just like, they are not putting me in the psych ward. Like, I don't want to go to that place. like I know I messed up, but luckily my mom showing up, the doctor's like, I'm just gonna release him to you, but you do not leave his side. So ended up just coming down here.
So at what point do you kind of flip that switch of being pissed off it didn't work to, whatever that next feeling was?
I honestly don't know. Like I was just terrified. Like I've visited people in that place, and it's not somewhere you want to be. And yeah, that's all I thought about. But luckily I didn't have to go.